Today I'm doing a little bit of a different video because today we're going to be battling out two of the most popular perfumes on earth. And that isn't even an exaggeration. You don't even have to be in the perfume space on social media to know about these perfumes. Even if you don't know anything about perfumes, you've seen these two perfumes. I've also gotten this question asked a lot of people that are saying, I want to get into niche fragrances and I'm between these two fragrances that are so popular, but I don't know which one to go for. And so I thought I'd sit down and kind of, I wouldn't say compare, because you can't compare two things that are vastly different, and these two perfumes have absolutely no correlation. So I wouldn't say compare, but I'm going to kind of describe each one and go through a couple pros and cons of each one, so that if you are wondering which one of these to go for, which one would fit you best, then hopefully this video would clarify that. Today we're going to battle out Delina by Parfums de Marly and the also very famous MFK Baccarat Rouge 540. If you want to buy your first niche fragrance and you're trying to choose between these two, which I know are very talked about for many reasons, then keep watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and turn post notifications on, and let's get started. First, let's start with Delina. Now at the end of this video I'm gonna tell you which one I would pick as my first perfume if I were kind of blindly going into this choice. So this perfume is gonna be for somebody that wants to smell really feminine. You're into florals, you want to smell really ethereal, and you want just a signature scent that is memorable and just absolutely gorgeous and borderline whimsical. That is what Delina is for. This is such a complimented scent, but we can say that about both of these. Both of these perfumes are equally highly complimented, but for two different reasons. Although I will say, when it comes to Delina, just in my personal experience, I've noticed a lot more compliments on this from men. I don't know what that's about. I think men just maybe love really feminine fragrances on women because it just gives off that beautiful feminine vibe, and this is literally the epitome of that. So maybe that's why, but that's just something that I've noticed. Delina has top notes of lychee, rhubarb, bergamot, nutmeg, middle notes of Turkish rose, peony, musk, petalia, vanilla, and base notes of cashmere and incense, cedar, and Haitian vetiver. This opens up really bright and super floral right off the bat. Right off the bat, you're gonna get that rose. The rose in here is really beautiful though. I'm very specific when it comes to my rose. And in here, you're gonna get that really airy, rosewater, fresh kind of rose scent. The part that I kind of don't love about this scent is that lychee. Although I feel like that's also the part that makes the scent so unique, because without that, it would just be any regular rose scent. So I kind of have a love and hate relationship with that. I just don't like bitter and sharp notes, and that note does give this a little bit of a bitter feel and almost sour kind of feel. But again, it's weird because it also, I feel like, adds so much to this scent. Well, the lychee and the rhubarb kind of both have that similar sort of effect in this scent. Now there's other notes in here, like you're gonna get peony, which I feel like kind of softens this up a little bit, and I really love the addition of the peony in here because it's just another pink warm floral, so adds on to the warmth of this scent. This is a sweet scent, but definitely more of a fresh floral scent more than anything. The incense I don't really get in here at all. I don't get a smoky vibe or anything like that. Maybe it's adding some sort of element in here. Personally, I cannot pick up the incense whatsoever. It is a little bit woodsy and cashmere. It's a very smooth scent, and even though it kind of has more like loud notes, it does feel really refined, and honestly it is a really beautiful scent. There are some super popular scents that are very overrated, and one person will start using it and then everybody else gets on the bandwagon, and before you know it, everybody's using the same perfume. And I get that that can be a little annoying, and with both of these, that's kind of what happened. Everybody pretty much smells like either one of these. But I think with both of them, they kind of deserve the hype because they are two very beautiful and very unique scents. Not in the sense that everybody's using them now, obviously, but if you just take the scent in itself, they are super unique. When these first came out, there was no other scents like them on the market. Now there are, because of how much hype these perfumes got, so every brand then is imitating them in some sort of way. There's trillions of dupes for both of these, or perfumes that are not meant to be dupes but are completely copying these two perfumes. And I mean, that's when you know you did something right, when everybody's copying it, right? So you can say what you want about both of these, but I don't think you can deny that they are both very original, unique scents. That's part of the reason why they are also both polarizing. No unique thing is meant to be loved by everybody, and that's kind of the beauty in it, in my opinion. What I don't love about both of these perfumes is the price point. They are both significantly expensive. Okay, hold up, because I am on the Parfums and Marley website right now. They have raised the price of this. I'm pretty sure I did not pay this much when I first got this. I'm pretty sure I paid around $350 for this, and this is the 75 ml. By the way, this isn't even a full 100 ml bottle. You get 2.5 fluid ounces of perfume in here. This is now $410. That is crazy. There's definitely been an increase on price on this. That's literally insane that this is that much. Honestly, for that fact alone, I mean, it is a beautiful scent, but there's so many dupes of it that are gonna give the exact same scent nowadays where you don't have to pay this money. Now, when it comes to dupes, it's like some dupes can't do it as well as the original, and that brings me to Baccarat Rouge. There's a lot of dupes of this, and I will say a lot of them come very close, like 98.99999% close. But there's still that little bit that I feel like no dupe house has been able to imitate perfectly. This scent is just so one of a kind, it cannot be replicated. Something about the dry down, the way it wears throughout the day, it's just unmatched to any other dupe that I've smelled, even though there's many that have come super close and almost identical. I still would choose this over it. Now, the price of this is going to be less than Delina, which kind of makes me think, like, why did they raise the price on Delina? I mean, obviously they raised the price because it got super popular, so there's that. But Baccarat Rouge is equally, if not more, popular than Delina, and I don't think that they've raised the price on Baccarat Rouge. So that's interesting to me. When it comes to notes for Baccarat, this is going to be more of a molecular type of fragrance rather than actual tangible notes, which is why this perfume is so unique, and also why this is one of those scents that will smell different on everybody. It's one of those scents that adapts with your skin chemistry. So one person may hate it purely because it just smells off on their skin chemistry, but it's not necessarily that they hate the perfume. They just don't like how it emits off of their natural scent, but they can completely like it on somebody else. I mean, generally that happens with every perfume because every perfume works with or against your skin chemistry, but especially with a scent like this that is more molecular base and it has that ambroxan note. This perfume has top notes of saffron, jasmine, middle notes of amberwood, ambergris, hedione, and base notes of fir resin, cedar, sugar, ambroxan, and oak moss. Obviously there is actual tangible notes in this other than the more molecular woodsy ones. To be honest though, I will say I do get a little bit of that saffron. I don't get jasmine. I do get a resinous vibe to this, so there's that. I don't get any form of floral in this scent at all. And then the other note that I would say I get is sugar, because this is a very sweet scent, but in a very unique way. It's not gourmand. It's not candy sweet. Maybe a little candy sweet. It smells like pure sugar, but not in like a burnt cotton candy kind of way is what I mean. And it's also not sweet from a fruity way, so it's just a very specific kind of sweet way. Weirdly, which may not make this sound that great, but I feel like is a good way to explain it, it has a medicinal feel to it, which is again kind of strange, but it just works so well. This is definitely going to be more of like a woodsy scent if you want something a little bit more edgy and maybe a little bit more androgynous. This is definitely a more unisex scent, so if that's your vibe, this is definitely what I would go for. And this is completely subjective, but in my opinion, this scent is more wearable day to day, whereas Delina, again, my opinion, for me, this is more of like a special occasion I'm going out scent because it's just stronger. And this is one of those scents also where I really have to be in a mood for it, otherwise it will kind of give me a headache throughout the day because of how strong and powerful it is, which can be seen as a good thing or a bad thing depending on your preference. But for me, if I'm not in the mood and I wear this, it's gonna kind of like borderline nauseate me. In my opinion, if I was kind of blindly going into the niche world and these were your two choices that you were picking between, I would personally go for Baccarat, because for me, I would get a lot more wear out of this perfume every day, special occasion. It's very versatile. I could wear it anytime. Whereas with Delina, again, some people may use this as a signature scent and you could be okay and love it on a daily basis. But personally, I do find that I need to be in the mood for it. So just for me, this would be a better value for my money because I'm actually going to get a lot more wear. This perfume I've had for a long time and I don't think I've made even a slight dent into it, because even when I do use it, I use such a small amount because this is such a powerful scent that quite literally one spray will have you smelling like this from head to toe for 24 hours. So it's hard to make a dent even if you are using this regularly, but I don't even do that, so I barely have a dent into it. It's still something that I want to keep around because it adds a lot to my collection. I have nothing like it. It's also really great for layering, but you do have to be careful with Delina because it's such a strong and complex scent on its own. It can tend to clash with other scents, so you really have to kind of know what you're doing when you're layering with that. Whereas with Baccarat, I layer this with numerous perfumes and it works with everything. Even though it's equally as complex, if not even more than Delina, the notes are, I guess, softer in this, so it just kind of blends and adds to every perfume. In fact, I've gotten more compliments on Baccarat when I layer it with other perfumes than I have with it alone, which is kind of weird. It kind of just adds a really unique touch to everything I have, so that's another bonus towards it. Bottom line is I personally would go over Baccarat over Delina, but this is all subjective. If you are more of a feminine girl, then I think Delina would probably fit your personality best. But if you just want something a little bit more versatile, will kind of make your money go a little bit further, then I would go for Baccarat, and it's also cheaper than Delina. By the way, this is my second bottle of Baccarat Rouge, although I will be honest, I didn't finish the first bottle. I did make a dent into my other bottle though, but I ended up selling it when I was in Albania this past summer. But I bought a second bottle right away because it's a scent that I can't do without in my collection, regardless of the fact that I have 100 perfumes. So I hope that tells you how much I love it. The 1.2 ounce is $220, but the 2.4 fluid ounce, which is the one I have here, is $355. Although I've mentioned this in my other videos, I ended up getting a really good deal on this because I got this at the airport while I was in Turkey on my layover, and obviously it was duty free, so I didn't pay taxes, but they had it priced at I think it was $235, plus they had like a 10% off if you signed up for them, which I did. So I ended up paying for mine for $200, which was such a good deal because if I had rebought it here in the States, I would have paid $350 plus tax. So definitely was a good choice to get this at the airport. Those are all my thoughts on these two perfumes. Let me know if you are a Delina girl or a Baccarat girl in the comments down below, or if you hate both of them. These are definitely two perfumes you gotta smell to buy though. That's another thing I'll add before I leave this video. Do not blind buy these scents. If you're gonna go on the online route, get samples of them and try that out first, because I wouldn't want you to spend this price point on either one of these and end up not liking it. And because they are polarizing, I wouldn't recommend that you do that because they're not safe blind buys, okay? You gotta try them. And if you do go into the store, make sure that you spray both of these on your skin. They smell completely different on clothes than on your skin. You could spray them at the store on your clothes and think you love it, but then you spray them on your skin and it's a completely different story. So definitely make sure that they smell good on you, not your clothes, but you. That is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments which one of these you would pick if you were going into it. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and turn post notifications on, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.